Recently, the world suffered the greatest betrayal in the history of mankind, and it was committed shockingly by Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, my queen, our queen. She betrayed us all.
You were the chosen one! I loved you! I hate you!
And ultimately, seeing what was revealed about her in Doctor Strange 2, as well as the actions she committed in that film, really brought about quite the crisis in my life.
But out of crisis comes change.
Out of crisis comes change.
And that change came in the form of two options. Make a Wanda exposed video to bring some positivity back into my life, or jump off a building to end my suffering.
And as you can see, I am not dead!
The building was too far, so here we are. The downfall of Wanda Maximoff.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Now, to go after Wanda Maximoff is extremely dangerous, since she has a lot of fans. To be more exact, she has a lot of simps. I should know. I was one of them. But as someone once said,
even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right, even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye and say no. You move.
How rapey of you.
now that person is maybe a terrorist, but I'm sure she means well. Anyway, before Doctor Strange 2, Wanda Maximoff was a rising star amongst the many heroes of the MCU. She was beautiful, fairly competent, smart, funny, and someone we as the audience felt an emotional connection to. In fact, before Doctor Strange 2, I constantly wondered how the Maximoff twins could be related. I mean, sure, they were both hot, but one was so fucking stupid, and the other just wasn't at all. But that's all changed now, since this year we finally found out that the simp church of the Scarlet Witch was really all a scam, and the greatest betrayal we've ever seen. Now, I'm sure many of you probably already see where this video is gonna go. I'm gonna say Wanda was ruined because she was evil, crazy, and killed off some of my favorite Marvel heroes. But I want to make it clear to you.
You are mistaken.
All of you are wrong!
If anything, that just made her hotter, since she really did us a great service by murdering those idiots. Yeah, no. My reasons for feeling betrayed by her are far greater than that. And once you hear them, you'll also never see Wanda the same way. So let's start with the scene where Wanda starts to unravel and reveal her true self. The scene where she was revealed to be evil. But as previously mentioned, I have no problem with that. So what do I have a problem with then? It's this line right here.
Your children aren't real. You created them using magic.
That's what every mother does.
Liar!
That's not what every mother does, Wanda. In fact, no human mothers do that. I was beyond confused when she said this to Strange, and for many weeks, I tried to convince myself that it was just a shit attempt at her making a joke, and that she was just trolling us. I mean, surely she didn't actually believe that magic is what caused children. My queen wouldn't actually believe such blasphemy, right?
That is false.
Members and non-members of the Simp Church of Wanda, I regret to inform you all that Wanda Maximoff doesn't know what sex is, and she sure as fuck doesn't know how children are made. But what makes me the most disappointed about all this is that Wanda had so many opportunities to ask some of the smartest minds on Earth about sexual reproduction, but didn't. She had Tony, the genius playboy. She had an Avenger with 3 kids on her team in Civil War, who she was friends with. And the greatest offense of all was that she was dating a fucking computer. She could have just used him to Google about the topic. All the data and knowledge was right there. Wanda, you had every chance in the world. Why did you have to go full idiot on me and say children are made through magic?
How can you do this? This is outrageous.
And as such a big name Avenger for quite some time there, with many people surely looking up to her as their hero, it makes you wonder how many she spread these lies to. And yeah, eventually her image deteriorated thanks to Lagos, New Jersey, and everything in the multiverse of madness. But I'm certain that if those hadn't happened, she still would have gone evil anyway, as she continued her spread of misinformation, lies, and deception to her fans.
With great power comes the absolute certainty that you'll turn into a right cunt.
So this begs the question, why didn't Doctor Strange step in and tell Wanda she's an idiot? Well, I think what happened here is that what Wanda said was so stupid, so outrageously dumb, that it caused Steven's brain to crash and shut down, like a computer. With it only really coming back online at the end of the movie, when he gave America Chavez the motivational speech to empower her, since it was so obvious from the start that all she needed was a nice little speech to solve her problem. Not actual training or time, just some nice words of encouragement. But as I said, that's not Strange's fault. The blame falls entirely on Wanda. Or does it? You see, I believe there were many bad apples throughout Wanda's life that caused her to walk down this treacherous road. First of all, let's talk about her parents. They fucking died by getting smashed into oblivion, causing Wanda and Pietro to have no parents or money growing up. But being poor orphans is no excuse here, because after all, look at how well Magneto turned out. But still, I'd suspect that not being a poor orphan surely helps your chances in life. So Wanda's parents really did her a major disservice here by dying. Really selfish of them, when they could have just dodged the missile, or better yet, not been home at all. And if that wasn't bad enough, Wanda was now left alone with her dipshit of a brother, Pietro.
Fastest man alive, what a fucking joke.
I guarantee you that Wanda spent all those years before Age of Ultron just trying to keep this dude's bullet fetish in check. And in the end, she failed, because he got exactly what he always fantasized about and craved. And I'm going to take a guess that this moment of failure probably wasn't good for her mental health.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I 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 need it!
So, with all of her early years wasted being a poor orphan and ultimately failing to protect her idiotic brother, Wanda really had no time to learn about any education, let alone sex education. But you know who was more than happy to save her from this path of pain? Team Iron Man. They wanted to protect her after the Lagos incident, make her a better person, and help her catch up on the many years she lost. Tony was right when he said that Wanda had to be put in check. He saw what Wanda was becoming, and tried to stop it, and set her on the right path. But old man Steve had to protect her by saying she was just a kid, when she was actually in her mid-20s at the time. And the worst part is that Cap gets a happy ending, while the good guy here died a painful death.
Maybe if I'd raised you, I could have made you better. And not some weak, sniveling pussy. But there's no fixing that now. Weak. You. I know. You're a fucking disappointment.
So, while Wanda deserves a large chunk of the blame for her lies and deceptions, perhaps I can learn to forgive her. Perhaps we can forgive her.
I forgive you.
But wait, hold on. I'm not done. If all of this was her only offense for these reasons, then yes, I could forgive and forget. But there is one final act that she commits in the multiverse of madness, an action that almost killed me.
And that is something that I cannot forgive.
I am, of course, talking about the ice cream song incident. Don't worry, I would never torture you by playing it, as I'm sure it still haunts you in your nightmares to this day, as it does for me. But the truth is, none of us had to go through that pain and terror. Wanda, our queen and savior, could have saved us from the torment and trauma, but instead, she betrayed us and encouraged her boys to sing it. And the worst part, she actually enjoyed torturing us with it.
I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm just itching. I'm itching to do it again. And you think what? You think you're gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch.
So let me assure you now, Wanda, that thanks to the pain that song caused to the many people who heard it, your children in every universe are going straight to hell for their crimes against the multiverse.
Straight to hell, to the boiler room of hell, all the way down.
Overall, though, if Wanda just knew how children were made, then the events of Doctor Strange 2 would have never had to happen. Instead, someone with a dick could have just fucked Wanda.
I'm like, boom, you looking for this?
It's that easy. Steven could have even knocked up Wanda. Anyone could have really been up to the task at hand, so long as Wanda consented. But still, I suppose that's the end of the Maximoff era for now, until one or both of them come back for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. The glorious return of the Maximoffs, siblings who are as hot as they are dumb.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
After all, what are the Maximoffs if not stupidity persevering? And with that philosophical comment, I think I'll end the video there. I hope you now see Wanda as the toxic personality that she truly is, and leave her as I have, and find a new queen or king to worship. To be honest, I think I've already found mine, and you're welcome to join me.
Stand back.
I will no longer be your slave!
No!
Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.
Sub, share, smash that like button. The Holy Trinity.
We have said goodbye before, so it stands to reason.
We'll say hello again.